Hey everybody, welcome back to the Turnout. I am your host, Aloy. I just wanted to come and pop in here, and I decided to just go ahead and go live. Might as well. I was there, and I was just very excited when I got the news, really awesome news that Charmed, the reboot of Charmed, has already been renewed for a fourth season. We are just now getting into the third season, and it's really great to just see that like it already is being set up for success and for going on into further storylines. Like we're about to get a new storyline in a few episodes, and then we're going to get even another one. So it's really nice to see that. And instead of like editing a whole video and all that junk, I just wanted to come and just geek out with you guys and just be excited. So, real quick, I do want to go through the article and we can discuss what's kind of going on with it. But essentially, we have let's see here. So Charmed season 4 CW reboot series renewed. So it says there's still magic in the air at the CW. The smallest broadcast network has renewed the Charmed TV series for a fourth year, which will air as part of the 2021-22 television series, just 2 episodes into the third season. So I'm gonna skip like who's in the show because I mean we don't necessarily need to go through that. I think we know who's in the show, but it airs on Sunday nights. The third season of Charmed averages a zero point 0.1 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic and 440,000 viewers, compared to season 2 that's down by 41% in the demo and down by 31% in viewership. As live same day ratings keep dropping for most network shows, the CW continues to focus on streaming and other revenue sources. So, quote, though we're just a few weeks into the new season, we wanted to get a strategic head start on the next season for these early renewals, which allows our production teams to start laying out story arcs and hiring staff, and at the same time continues to provide us with a strong, stable schedule to build on for next season. That is from Mark Pedowitz, chairman and CEO of the CW. So they also renewed a bunch of other shows, Batwoman and DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Dynasty, The Flash. So, all those other shows that are there on the screen are also renewed. But I think what I want to discuss real quick would be those numbers. Okay. Because I feel like they do need to be addressed. If you're looking here, and I guess I can make that bigger. Does that look better on the screen? I'm not even sure. It probably doesn't. Oh no, it's just as small. It's just as small. Here, I'll do that instead. But if we look at those numbers, it's a zero point 0.1 rating, 440,000 views. It's down by 41% in the demo, down 31% in viewership. Those are not good numbers, and those numbers would normally tell you that a show is, more likely to be um, canceled than instantly renewed. The reason that I believe this is happening though is, I mean, it's also been like moving nights and all that stuff, and I will tell you that Sunday nights is kind of a death kiss for a lot of shows. I remember when I used to watch what Greg the Bunny, Firefly, these shows, those shows were like, well, it's on Mondays, now it's on Sundays, now it's on Fridays, now it's on this day. So it made it so hard to even find the show or know when it was coming out. And going on Sunday nights, like, I mean, I don't know. It's not really necessarily the worst thing that could happen is if it moves to Friday, and then we're like, oh well, then we know that it doesn't want to be on anymore. But Sunday, I guess, isn't too bad. But usually you want a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday slot. That's what you really, really want if you're a show. And hello to people who are popping into the chat. I didn't give any precursor or warning for this live stream. I just wanted to come on and just geek out a little bit about the renewal. For those who are just joining us, season 4 has been renewed for Charmed, and they're doing it so that they can kind of get ready and start these storylines and get stuff ready. They are moving more towards a streaming, platform, so that's good. Anybody who wants to read that same article, I always put the sources for anything that I talk about in the description, so that's there. And hello to Kristen. I know a lot of people named Kristen in my life, by the way. But anyway, I'm excited. I mean, I'm already excited about the current season, and I'm excited to see what new storylines and new characters and stuff we get out of here. But I love the idea that they already can start weaving in things for the next season. I mean, like, because my favorite thing is, where you can kind of just drop a little nugget here and then it ends up paying off later on. And it's hard to do that when you are kind of like questioning whether you're even going to get another season. A lot of the time you'd be like, well, I don't even know if I'm going to get another season, so I got to wrap up all this stuff now. But, if you already know where the show's going and you know that you're going to have that extra time, then you can take a breath and you can say, well, I'm going to introduce this character here, and it might be that you end up never getting something out of this character, but I'm gonna just drop a little nugget of just, ooh, that could be something that we build upon later on, and it just gives you a little bit more room to breathe, which I really, really like. I dig the idea of that, and there are shows who not only just knowing that you have more seasons, but knowing when you don't have any more seasons left. There are shows that they're like, hey, I know we could be renewed forever. I saw an interview with the people who made Lost, and they were like, we would like to end the show. And the networks were like, no, you can't end the show. And they're like, but we need to end the show. And they finally came to agreement to end the show. So they were like, cool. Well, they gave them like 3 more seasons. They're like, okay, cool. With 3 seasons, we will make sure that we end it the way that we want to end it. But they kept making them extend it. I hope that and I don't want that to happen to any show, because we already saw what happened to Lost as a result of that. But just since we don't have an end in sight right now for Charmed, which is good, we just see more seasons. But just knowing that they get more seasons means that the writing quality is going to be way better, in my opinion, because again, it just gives them room to breathe. So I'm very excited about the news. And I can already tell in the chat that you guys are as well. And let me just see here. So Madness Arcade says, fantastic, awesome, some hype. And I said, always. I guess I probably shouldn't highlight my own comments. Abby shouted when they got the news. Yeah, another season of Charmed. Hi, Kristen. I did say hi to you. Jed, will you ever do another collab with Kristen again? Yes. Oh my gosh. We've already been kind of talking. We've collabed a couple of times, me and Kristen. She only collabed here on my channel, but I've actually been on her channel a couple of times after the initial time that we did it. So go check that out. We actually did a whole thing. I'll share it. I'll put a link in after I'm done live streaming, but we did like a whole conversation about witches on her channel, which was really fun, just about witches in pop culture. Because she has a thing called Pop Culture Planet. Really fun podcast. If you haven't been checking out Kristen, go check it out. But I've already been hitting Kristen up, and I think we're definitely going to be talking more about that. And in the meantime, me and Maria we have tons of plans to get together and stuff. So anyway, yes, I do definitely want to do that, because Kristen is awesome. I actually want to collab with Kristen on other things, because I have some other things in the works. We'll get to that later. Kevin Jones, I do too. I would like them to be cousins or something. That is, what is that? What are you talking about? Oh, the male witches. Yes. So yeah, Kevin said, I want male witches. I'm not against the idea of male witches, though I do like the idea of it being, why can't the women have like a thing that's theirs? I don't know. I don't need it to be for dudes too. It's kind of like American Horror Story, where there are, there's witches and there's warlocks. but the witches are more powerful, and the witches are the ones that are in control of the world of magic. And there's actually a prophecy of a time when a dude will rule it all, and then of course that's what starts the end of the world. So, uh, for anybody who doesn't watch American Horror Story, I apologize. That was a little bit of a spoiler, but for those of you who do, you already know what I'm talking about anyway. So, uh, hey to Erica, and let's see. I just hope that we get more seasons. We get great stories. I can feel it now. Yeah, I mean, most definitely, and I feel like also they're going to end up. Not only the current writers are going to end up getting better. I feel like they're probably getting a better feel for uh, the sisters and what us as fans and viewers are wanting. So that is only going to give them more fodder to make the show better. Maybe they'll bring other newer writers in that have, new crazy ideas to add into the universe. I mean, there's a million different things that could happen, but I'm very optimistic for the future of Charmed. The fact that we already now know we're going to get at least 4 seasons. Let's see if we can get a fifth and a sixth and a seventh. It's only going to happen through really meaningful and awesome writing. So I'm hoping that we get that. Hannah says, "I love that they're renewing the show. These kind of shows are the ones that get canceled, and a couple years later, people want it back." I'd agree. I also know that this show fought a lot to get to where it's at. And I think that the networks, they can look at it and see that even if it's not necessarily getting the types of views that they would want, uh, there are reasons for that that are not the show's fault. It could be the night that it's on. It could be the virus. It could be just the fact that old OG Charmed fans, some of them didn't even give it a chance, or they only watched the first episode and they're like, "This is terrible." It's just like, most shows pilots are terrible. What are you expecting? Uh, I would say, like, I watched the pilot for the new reboot of Charmed, and I was like, it's good. Like, it took like 3 episodes. I'm trying to remember back now. It took like 2 or 3 episodes before I was like, okay, I bought in. But if you just watch the first episode and you're like, "This isn't like my old Charmed. This is the worst thing ever," well, then you're ridiculous. That's what I'll say. Anyway, um, now I'm starting to think that. Now I'm starting to think what all could happen with all the seasons exactly. And Jordan better stay exactly. Uh, Madness Arcades. That would be cool if they had a male sibling and we had an arc where he felt left out, being the only boy and not part of the power. I feel like I heard that they're already bringing in another sibling. I don't like necessarily the idea. I think there was in one of my comments, a comment in one of my videos was like, "Please, uh, let's not turn this into a." Oh gosh, now I'm blanking on the name of the show. I'm sorry. Hold on. Uh, Wow. Riverdale, yes. So, there was a comment that was just like, "Let's not Riverdale Charmed with so many, secret siblings," because, Riverdale, well, there's lots of shows that have secret siblings and stuff. Riverdale has turned it into an art form, and there are at least, like, 2 secret siblings per season, and it's very ridiculous. Um, but it would be interesting to see, other people come in, who, yes, and Madness Arcade just kind of updated it. Relative, yeah, sure. Relative's fine. And I've said this previously. I'm just like, I come from a Hispanic family, and it's weird that they don't have more like siblings. Like it's like I have so many cousins. Like they have like it's like cool, like 3 siblings, that's fine. That's actually a pretty good household. The lack of cousins is astounding. Just from my own personal experience, it's like I don't even understand how they don't have cousins. How do they not have cousins? But anyway, I could totally see that. What I would see right there would be something like, it could be something all like a male relative comes in, let's say it's a cousin who is jealous of the fact that he'll never have access to the magics. So he does something. He enacts some sort of ritual or something like that, makes a deal with demons in order to get that power. That would be an interesting kind of storyline, because then it would be like, what are you willing to do to get that power? Are you willing to even like betray your family? Like, ooh, but what I would say is don't make that anything in season 3. Introduce that character in season 3, have that actually turn into something in season 4. So you show all of the jealousy and him feeling bad early on. And then we might be like, oh man, that would be really interesting if he did it. He did it. He finally did it. He decided he was going to get that man. See, it's like, so that's the slow burn that you can do when you know you have another season coming ahead. You can start dropping those little, there's a word for it. And for some reason, I'm blanking on the actual word, but it could be pretty interesting. Let me see. That's not the one I meant to click. I'm looking forward to seeing other family members and possibly more Latin magic. Yeah, so the show itself has like witch, right? I That's another thing with American Horror Story that I really liked, the fact that they introduced witches and then they also introduced voodoo as an alternate. It's also magic, but it's not witchcraft, it's voodoo, and you're doing different things with that. So I thought that was really cool, and it could introduce a million different things. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Foreshadowing. That is exactly the word. And for some reason, I was blanking on that. Foreshadowing. Obviously, that's the word. So yeah, I think it would be interesting to introduce different types of magic, because there is more than just witches. But there doesn't need to be also. This could just be a fictional world where witches are the only thing that is real, and there doesn't necessarily need to be other types of magic. It could just be all those other types of magic are just different interpretations of being a witch, but all of it is being a witch. And I'm okay with that. Like, I love introducing different cultures and different things into worlds that I already adore, but at the same time, that also can serve to complicate the world building a little bit. And that was a lot of my complaint with a lot of the stuff in season 2, is that everything that they added was such a huge world changing thing, and it changed everything within the context of what's happening with the characters. So I wish that we could kind of just go back to simplifying the world a little bit more. Let's see if that happens. That would be nice. Uh, So let's see here. So aunts and uncles. I mean, yeah, aunts and uncles. I would say aunts and uncles, not necessarily. I think that the show itself is supposed to be young and vibrant and stuff. So I would say bring in more cousins, or even nieces and nephews, something to that effect. And there could be a reason. So we already know that there's going to be like a funeral for Mel, and that would actually be a great excuse for other family members to come, because if it's like, oh, Mel's dead, then we need to come, and we need to come together and mourn her. That's actually the thing, is like when the sisters died, when they went into witchness protection, like there were no funerals, like no one cared, like it was weird. I wish that they could have touched on that, because what it seemed like is that just nobody cared. So there you go. But the fact that we have a new season coming, uh, super excited for that. I love the fact that we're gonna get yet another season. So like, again, I kind of just wanted to come and geek out with you, and that throughout the rest of the episodes and seasons that we get, Turnout's going to be here. We just launched a membership program here on YouTube, so feel free to hit the join button. And I made a little video that explains it all. But if you want to help out the channel, feel free. Again, in 2021, we have a lot more videos coming. We're going to talk a lot about a lot of different shows, not just Charmed. I do watch other things too. I have another video coming later, I think on the weekend, that's going to be about another show that I just watched off of Netflix. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have lots to discuss. I love all you guys. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me so we can geek out about the season 4 of Charmed. I'm very excited. All right. I've been your host, Aloy. This has been the Turnout. Thanks for